You work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than four walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn earrings today.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Michaela's got like the best earrings.
Sarah, buckle up.
I wish my name was Michaela.
We're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
It can be tough getting through to kids, but it's your job to make sure they're wearing your seatbelts. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
From the TrueCar.com studios, the new way to buy a car. This is Fox Sports Radio 1400, WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Download it now.
This message is from the American Association of Community Colleges.
Fox Sports trending now.
Bowl season continues in college football, and, well, Russell Athletic Bowl features Miami and West Virginia. No score as of yet. One game that went final earlier today, Pinstripe Bowl with Northwestern and Pitt.
4th and 2, and Thorson will throw. Dances left and throws wide open. Dickerson, 10-5, touchdown! Garrett Dickerson, all by himself on the left side, takes it in for the touchdown, and the Wildcats go back in front with 8:23 to go.
And they held on to win that ball game too, 31-24. Meanwhile, National Football League, Doug Martin, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, done for the season. He said he was leaving the team for personal reasons. Now I'd come to find out he failed a drug test for PED use. It's a 4-game suspension for him that starts immediately. Breaking sports news as it happens. I'm David Gascon.
We are Fox. It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set, just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
Finally, Clemson Sports Talk has come back to Columbia. Hello, everybody. Lawton Swan back in the saddle once again, 316 Greystone Boulevard. Had to let that one marinate as we've been off the air for a week now. Lawton Swan alongside my partner in crime, Lowell the intern, fresh off of a little vacay away from the microphones, but glad to be back with you. Programming alert. No Clemson Sports Talk tomorrow. But Swanee, you promised us 3 shows before Clemson's matchup against Ohio State. What the heck, man? Shortchanging the audience already? Unfortunately, yes, that's what's going to have to take place because of the Birmingham Bowl featuring the South Carolina Gamecocks in South Florida. That, of course, a 2 p.m. start tomorrow. Jonathan Reynolds will, of course, be hosting the post-game show. And that will take place around 6 o'clock. So, no Clemson Sports Talk tonight. You've got myself, Lowell the intern, today and Friday. Think of it like maybe your last year of college, just a Wednesday, Friday course for you here. So, you don't even have Monday. Somehow you got out of having a class on Monday. We're here 2 days for you, heading into Clemson's matchup against Ohio State. Also, the other big matchup, of course, everybody talking about as well, Alabama, Washington in the Peach Bowl, December 31st, 3 p.m. in Atlanta. The college football playoff is upon us. It'll be here before we know it. Bowl matchups galore going on. We'll get into some of those games that have happened earlier today. We'll talk about some games that maybe piqued our interest over the past week. We'll also talk about this matchup, former Big East rivals going head-to-head between Miami and West Virginia right now. But without, whoa. Swanee, you've been away so long, you forgot to tease the guest. All right, coming up on the show tonight, we've got Lewis Woodard. Lewis Woodard's going to be joining us here in about 17 minutes. We'll have Lewis on at 6:20, and last night had the opportunity to be on with Lewis. It's one of the things that's always fun about hosting a show and having a gig like this, or the opportunities to go and be a part of somebody else's show. I was actually on Night Moves with Lewis Woodard last night on SB Nation Radio. Lowell, you want to talk about a schedule? You want to talk about a show time that would be rough? And again, he's in Houston, Texas, one of the largest markets, and it's a show that goes coast to coast. And he came right out of the state of South Carolina to get that show out there in Houston. But can I tell you, Lowell, he's on the air, I believe, from 1 in the morning until 6 in the morning. He does 5 hours from 1 to 6, Night Moves with Lewis Woodard. That's incredible. We'll also be joined by Clemson Tom coming up at 6:32. And at 7:32, we'll be joined by the voice of the Clemson Tigers, Don Munson. Now, good news for those of you who like chatting during the program. Head on over to ClemsonSportsTalk.com right now. Click on the live tab. Not only can you see the glorious video of myself, but you can also listen to the show there and chat with fellow Clemson Tiger fans. And if you're over there and you're going, where is everybody, Swanee? Well, we moved it back over there. We've only been back over there a couple of shows. So we used to get a pretty decent gathering, and I probably made a big mistake by moving it around, and I did, and I disappointed several people. But ClemsonSportsTalk.com, the website. Now, without further ado, the man sitting across from me, he has one more Christmas in the books than the last time he did before he showed up. He is none other than our man on Twitter, at Lowell the Intern. Lowell, what's going on?
Bada boom, realest guys in the room. How you doing?
Man, I'm thinking we got to call you Lowell the grad assistant now that you got that grad degree, that you're ready to rock and roll. You got the collegiate diploma under your belt. Lowell the GA, what's up?
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue like the intern.
Yeah, and I don't think you could give a proper bada boom as Lowell the GA. I think you'd have to go with a little more, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Shall we try it? Ladies and gentlemen, sitting across from me, he is Lowell the GA, Lowell, the grad assistant. What's up?
Well, hello, Swanee. How are you today?
Yeah, that's not going to
work.
That's just not going to work. So we're going to make sure that we keep Lowell the intern's tag no matter what, even if he makes it big in whatever gig he takes on. If he steps into the arena to go one-on-one with the great one, he will always be known as Lowell the intern. 803-978-1832. You got anything to react to that's gone on over the past couple of days? Heck, we got to get your predictions on the South Carolina Gamecocks tomorrow, taking on South Florida. How you feeling about that Birmingham Bowl? Because we don't have another opportunity to talk about it. We got Clemson Tiger basketball tonight, and that game is one that may be a little bit underwhelming when you look at it on paper, but could be a big matchup for Clemson in terms of the postseason if they can find a way to win tonight. So we'll talk about all that and a whole lot more with you here on Clemson Sports Talk. But first, Lowell, how was your family? I know you took how was your Christmas holiday? You took a trip to New Jersey. I assume you saw Uncle Kevin.
We stayed with Uncle Kevin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's got a new house. He's moved.
Did he make you sleep under the stairs?
He did not, but he has a couple little closet spaces that he thought would be perfect for you if you
Swanee
ever wanted
zones.
to go stay. Yeah.
Swanee zones.
Swanee zones.
I understand. Listen, the next time I go up to... Now, how close is he to New York City?
Hour and a half, something like that.
So not terrible.
Not awful.
Not awful. Okay. All right. I'll keep him in mind next time I have to make a trip up to NYC. You know, doing big things and whatnot.
Of course.
So we'll see If I can, my wife might be the one that might not want to stay under the stairs. That might be the problem.
We might have to find her a bed.
Yeah, the solo trip for Swanee up there to stay with Uncle Kevin. That's what I'm talking about there. All right, Lowell, so good holiday. Did you get anything, anything that jumps off the page?
I did get an Alexa Dot. One of the little Alexas.
The Dot. Absolutely.
It's pretty cool.
It's nice.
Neat little device.
Oh, it's great. Now, the problem is you just set off 15 people's devices at home who are listening on one of the Amazon devices. We may have to just call it an Amazon listening device from this point forward. But, you can call it three things. You can call it Alexa. Oh, boy. Sorry, people. You can
Alexa, shut up.
Yeah. Alexa, stop. Alexa, play Fox Sports Radio 1400. You can also call it Echo, and you can also call it Amazon. So 3 names that you go with. Now, what's funny is my dad's spending some time with us, and at home he could never remember the name of his device, so I had to change it to Echo because that worked for him. Well, now he's at my house, and he's trying to communicate with the device, and it's just not working out very well for him at all.
Yeah, I kept calling it Alexis the first couple of times.
It works, though. But if you do it just right, it'll work with Alexis.
Sort of.
That's how my dad said, I just can't remember her name. I said, think of your wife's car, Alexis. He goes, oh, I got it now. So, yeah, that was a big gift. I mean, a lot of people got those. My dad, as a matter of fact, got 2 of those for Christmas. He already had the big one. And then, of course, he and my stepmother gave a lot of those to the grandkids as well. One of the best gifts out there right now, I think, if you just want to purely consume audio. And whether you're talking about an Audible account, whether you're talking about, listening to sporting events or catching the score, the weather, the news, or your favorite radio show like Clemson Sports Talk, absolutely a great gift. Love the few of them that I have in my house. And boy, with the price of that Dot at $39.99, I mean, it's a heck of a deal. And Lowell, did you hook it up to a bigger stereo? Because with the audio jack out on the back, if you're willing to leave your stereo on in your bedroom or wherever, you can really let that thing rip.
No, I haven't played with it too much outside of just kind of talking to it. I do know that you can hook it up to Bluetooth speakers, or to a bigger stereo. So that's something I'm gonna play around with.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, it is a tremendously nice gift. So yeah, that was a good one. For me, man, just watching the kids, bro. I'm telling you what. Now, here's a major problem, and America has 2 major problems right now, in my opinion. One, the overabundance of gifts that children get. If I didn't think it would scar my children for life, I would make them pick out 3 of the gifts that they got, that they loved, and we'd take everything else and donate it. But I think I might mess them up somehow, so I'm a little afraid to do that. I know some people say, hey, Swanee, that'd be a great way to, kind of teach your kids about charity and all this. It might also be a great way to just destroy them mentally. So I hesitate there. I try to figure out how to navigate through all the toys. Number 2, and I put this on social media, and we got a lot of conversations on it over the holidays. By the way, follow me on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Can we just stop and take a break and talk about packaging in America in terms of the protective packaging that goes into these gifts? Am I missing something, Lowell? Did I miss where there is major theft of toys in America, that every single toy that my children get, I need a screwdriver, a hacksaw, a pair of scissors, and a blowtorch to get the item out? Yeah, the kid opens the present with this excitement and joy in their eyes. They're like, yes, I got gift X, whatever it is. Then they have to watch their father proceed, and it could be moms as well, but your parent proceed to almost destroy said item, getting it out of the box, to the point of where I get where I don't care if the item breaks anymore. The kid hasn't even touched the item yet. I can't get it out of the plastic. I don't understand it. I don't know. Was I in college during the great toy theft of 1997 where every toy in the store was stolen? Because when I was a kid, when you opened up that toy box, Lowell, guess what? Out came the toy, out came the fun. Now, when I open up a toy box as a parent, there is no toy that comes out. There is no fun that comes out. There are, under the breath, curse words that come out that then I have to start asking for forgiveness because here I am on Christmas morning. Sounds like I'm hanging out with a bunch of sailors. I mean, I don't know what to do. When you were a kid, Lowell, you're younger than me, were your gifts, do you remember if your gifts were secured as if we were trying to protect them from the Taliban perhaps getting a hold of them here in America? I have no idea what we're doing.
I think there were some that were like that, but for the most part, you go and open your box and, well, you unwrap it, you open your box, you take out whatever it is, and you go off and play with it.
Let me tell you, if we took all security in America as sincerely, I guess, as we do toy security in America, Lowell, people would starve. People would starve because they couldn't open the food that they bought. You'd never figure out how to get the milk jug open before it passed the expiration date. That's how difficult it is. Pain in the rear end. I know you moms and dads feel me on that. Just incredible. Incredible. By the way, my daughter got a present yesterday from her grandmother. You want to take a shot in the dark how many individual pieces are in this thing? Not just what I had to construct that took me 3.5 hours last night with my son. Would you like to know how many pieces are in this item?
How many?
Shot in the dark, Lowell. Between 1 and 1,000.
I'm going to go with 200.
562 individual pieces.
500 was my second choice.
562 individual things that I get to step on over the next 7 years until that item conveniently makes its way out of my house. Have you seen this training to be a parent on TV or on YouTube or a Vine? It's like a parent running on a treadmill and there's somebody at the other end dropping off Legos while they're running barefooted. That's my life. Scott is on the line joining us here tonight on Clemson Sports Talk. Scott, my man, hope you had a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. Good talking to you. What's up?
Yeah, I had a happy holiday. The month leading up to that wasn't so happy, though. I had throat surgery and couldn't talk for a month.
Well, listen, I was going to say, I didn't know what happened to you. I was wondering where you went, and glad to hear that you're back at it, man. Good to have you back on. I hope your recovery is going well.
Oh, yeah. I was meaning to shoot you a text, but everything gets so busy. But anyway, the reason that I'm calling tonight, I was listening the night that y'all put out the information for the Nico Sports Football.
Yes.
And, of course, I immediately ordered it. And I just got a phone call from Nico Sports. And if you were a first-time customer last year, they're calling people and they're offering them for $89 instead of $99.
Oh, really? So a little discount for people who had purchased them last year, huh?
Yes.
Nice.
And he said he would call me back because he's not sure if he has the autograph option yet or not. Deshaun Watson.
Oh, really?
He said since I already ordered it, he might be able to hook me up. So if you haven't ordered it yet, wait for that phone call.
Oh, nice, Scott. Well, hey, man, thanks for the tip, buddy, and we always appreciate you supporting Clemson Sports Talk. And, hey, I'm glad you're doing well, and I know you enjoyed the football you got last year. The only thing wrong with that one you got last year was that Clemson didn't have that national championship on it. Do you have a good feeling about the Tigers getting to the national championship, though?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hear you, man.
Hey.
Yeah.
What's his name? JT Barrett.
Yeah.
He said himself, we got dudes.
That's a good point.
We got dudes.
That's a good point. We do have dudes. All right, Scott, man, be good. Thank you so much for your phone call, man. Glad to hear from you. Not glad to hear from you. It's good to hear from you, buddy. I am glad to hear from you as well, but really good to hear from you because I wasn't sure what was going on with Scott there. Lowell, I know you have one of those footballs as well from Nico Sports, NIKKO. And this past weekend, or what was a week ago, I guess, when you were hosting the show with Aries Curry, you took the phone call and handled all the business in terms of getting the word on the street out there about the footballs. And, of course, when you, I think, look at just the quality of those footballs, that's the thing that I noticed first and foremost in terms of, just trying to find that item that's special to a Clemson Tiger fan out there. And, I had a championship game ball from the ACC championship between Clemson and Virginia Tech. But there is no doubt at all that these limited edition balls are incredible. And again, it's one of those things where if you're a sports fan, Bob Iback, he's called in several times, former PR director with the Cubs. These footballs are incredible. They are incredible. And as a matter of fact, over on Twitter, I will put out the link momentarily for you to get your hands on one. But always enjoy Bob. And Lowell called me and said, hey, man, Bob Iback called to talk about those limited edition footballs. So we've got all that and a whole lot more coming back. You know what? We've got Will on the line. Will, we are going to have Will hold over, and then we'll pick up our guest here momentarily as well. So a whole lot going on Clemson Sports Talk tonight. Glad to be back in the saddle with you. Lewis Woodard from Night Moves on SB Nation Radio, and apparently no Will. Will, come in. Are you there? Is this mic on, Will? All right, we'll be back. Stay with us on Fox Sports Radio.
January 4th. It's back. The worldwide announcement of our 2017 iHeartRadio Music Awards nominees. The biggest artists of the year, all on one stage. It's the only award show that celebrates the artists and songs you love and will be broadcast live on TBS. Listen Wednesday, January 4th at 9 a.m. for the full list of nominees. Then, let the voting begin.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show now at 978-1832 or text 803-450-0086.
Shaking the Southland weeknights, Fox Sports Radio 1400, the iHeart Radio app. Downloaded, it's free. You can also consume the show through the podcast editions. If you're an iPhone user, I suggest the Overcast app on Android. You go where you want. My man Lowell, the intern, tells me it's podcast addict. Maybe one day I'll join the likes of the Android contingent here in America. But right now, it's iPhone Nation. And joining us on the guest line, not from an iPhone, not from an Android, because we had to call his parents home because of cell service in the area, Lewis Woodard. You can hear Lewis each and every night. He's the host of Night Moves on SB Nation Radio from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. Lewis, I know I was on with you yesterday, and I was telling Lowell, the intern here, I said, man, you talk about a show that I would think would be tough to get through. And I'm a guy that loves radio. Man, I can't imagine that 5-hour shift from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m.
I don't know if I should admit this publicly, Lawton, but I can let you guys in on a little bit of secret. So I'm live from midnight to 3 a.m. my time, Central Time, and then they run back my two best hours for hours number 4 and hour number 5. So I am out of the studio at 3 a.m., but it is a little difficult because, as you know, hosting a show, you have to be mentally sharp. So I have a little bit of coffee before I start, and that makes it hard to power down and go to sleep right afterwards. Man, so I would say that the day-to-day life at times is a struggle, getting up in the afternoon, trying to figure out when businesses are closing, when you have to get out the door and do things. There's an adjustment period going on.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at Lowell thinking, I wonder if he could piece together 2 good hours for them to add to the back end of his 3. All right, let's dive right into the college football playoff, Lewis. It's one of the things that I think has really enhanced college football over the past few seasons is the actual playoff format and having 4 teams in. I've been a proponent for 8 teams or even the +1 with 6. But nonetheless, you get Alabama and Washington, you get Clemson and Ohio State. When you look at these 2 matchups, so many people focusing on, I feel like ESPN as well, on that Clemson-Ohio State matchup, maybe expecting it to be the better of the 2 games. But do you give Washington a chance in that matchup against Alabama? I mean, can they draw up some magic and Chris Peterson crack open the old Boise State magic hat and maybe find a way to knock off a team that's looked maybe invincible all season?
It's difficult, and I know that Southern California had a quarterback change, but, man, it's really difficult to look at their common opponent and see what Bama did to them on the first week of the season and what Southern California was able to do later on. And, the freshman quarterback for SoCal is a stud, and he totally changed the complexion of their season when they put him in. You watch Bama play, they're just so fit. I've been saying this year. It feels to me like they are somewhere between being a professional team. Because they beat Cleveland. I'm not going to go that far and say something that crazy. I think I read somewhere that they would be like a 25-point underdog to Cleveland, even as bad as the 1-14 Browns have been. But their front seven is just so physically dominant. I was just looking at their tackles for loss numbers. They've got 4 or 5 guys that have 10+, man. You've got Reuben Foster and Jonathan Allen, just bodies all over that front seven. And as well as they run the ball, they don't have a 1,000-yard rusher, but, with Jalen Hurts and Bo Scarborough and Damian Harris, they just have a number of guys. I have a very, very hard time watching it. And that's, even given the fact that Browning and John Ross are excellent. They could stretch the field against Bama for a little bit. I don't see them doing it for 60 minutes and minimizing what Bama can do up front.
At this point, would you say in terms of Alabama and no matter who their next 2 opponents are, assuming they win, that they're going to face perhaps the best 2 quarterbacks that they've seen all season? Is that a fair take, no matter if it's Clemson or Ohio State, that they get in the next game?
Well, I know your listeners are familiar with Chad Swag Kelly, so I happen to think that he's pretty good. He's a better quarterback than he is a recording artist, but I guess I would take Chad Kelly's rap over Le'Veon Bell's if I'm just comparing football player to football player. But I think Chad Kelly's really good. I would put Watson and Browning on maybe a tier slightly above him. But you're right to wonder quarterback play in the SEC, whether it's going to be a different ball game for them. You look at the teams that they just played. Florida, Auburn, come to mind recently as the last 2 teams they faced. Nowhere near Browning, Watson, or J.T. Barrett in terms of quarterback play. So that said, if you want to drop back and take more time, Bama has the horses to chase you. So that's the way I would look at it.
On Twitter, at Lou Woodard. Again, Lewis Woodard from Night Moves on SB Nation Radio. You can hear him Monday through Friday from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. And speaking of, when you look at Alabama with Hurts there at quarterback, I mean, this is a kid who's kind of come on and surprised a lot of people. Is he the fourth best in this quarterback show right now, or would you have him somewhere a little higher up the rung?
I think you would have to put him fourth best. He's very similar statistically to J.T. Barrett right now, and I would look at what they bring to the table. I mean, I would take Barrett if I had to choose one of them just because he's older and he's been there before. But those are both guys that are as effective as they are because of the quarterback run and not because of their ability to hit people downfield. I don't want to just completely play into what your guy Jadar Johnson said a couple of days ago, but the couple of the times that I've watched Ohio State this year, they've been heavily relying on the quarterback run to move the chains, and their backs are good, but I don't know if it's a receiving issue or whether J.T. Barrett hasn't progressed as a drop-back passer at all in his time in Ohio State, but I just have not been impressed with their ability to move the ball through the air.
Lewis, I know last night on your show we kind of talked a little bit about Dabo Swinney and just I guess kind of where he is right now in terms of the echelon of great coaches in college football. And to me, if he gets to the championship game and comes up a little short, and I went back and I looked, and we haven't had a rematch in a championship game since they started the BCS. So it's not like you've had two teams that have been able to piece together two seasons like perhaps Alabama and Clemson could do in back-to-back years to play for it all once again. But where does that put Dabo Swinney? Because I compare it to when I was in high school, and every year we got knocked out by the best team in the state, and I thought to myself, man, if they weren't there, that could be us. And maybe Swinney, if they get beat by Alabama, look at it that way as well and go, man, that could have been our chance. We just happened to hit a great Alabama team. Where does that put Swinney, though, if he can just get back to that championship game?
I've been a big fan of Dabo for a while now. I think I was probably in the bandwagon earlier than a lot of folks, and I was in Myrtle Beach for the last 3 years before I went out to Houston about a year ago. And I know there are a lot of people that write off Dabo because he was never a coordinator, because he was an interim guy. They want to look for excuses for why his team is successful. And I remember a couple of years ago it was, hey, what if Chad Morris leaves? And what are they, 28-2 since Chad Morris left or something crazy? Yeah. So it clearly was not just Chad Morris. I mean, he helped. And now the thing that I'm hearing from a lot of people is, hey, wait until Deshaun Watson's on. And, the quarterback recruiting has been perfectly fine, and the defense is going to be excellent. And, I mean, there's not going to be significant because Deshaun Watson's not around. But I do think that on some level, people will still say those things, and it will make you wonder, at what point do you fully accept him as a top-5 coach in college football? And a championship ring would certainly help that. But, I mean, if you think about it, I believe that we've had 3 college football playoffs, and only 3 programs have had 2 bids, right? 2 or more. That would be Bama with 3 and Ohio State with 2 and Clemson with 2. So, clearly, if it were that easy, more teams would be making it. So, the top 2 coaches in college football are pretty obvious. I hate to be that guy that counts rings, but it's hard to say anything about Nick Saban or Urban Meyer. The debate really begins at 3. Yeah, I think you can make an argument for him anywhere between 3 and 10 probably, and that ring, if and when he gets it, that would certainly help.
There he is on Twitter, at Lou Woodard. Lou, man, keep up the great work there at SB Nation Radio. Appreciate you being a part of the show, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, likewise, man. We'll be in touch.
There he is, Lewis Woodard. 803-978-1832, the number. Clemson Tom coming up. Checking in on the flip side. Stay with us.
My name's Kenneth Berger, and I represent people with life-changing injuries throughout South Carolina. My firm knows that after an accident, you'll want to know how your medical bills are going to get paid, whether you should sign the forms the insurance company has been sending you, when you'll recover lost wages, and how your future medical expenses are calculated. Luckily, there are answers to those questions. And for those answers and many more, you can request a free copy of my book at scinjurybook.com. That's scinjurybook.com.
Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family-owned business right there at Ferry Chevrolet. No dock fees, no tricks, straightforward pricing in a low-pressure environment you'll love. Check them out online, ferrychevrolet.com, or call them 803-536-1600. It's Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, just a short 30-minute drive off of exit 145A in Orangeburg.
When it's time to replace your roof, it is a big decision. Hey, it's Lawton Swan for Lakeside Construction of Columbia. Why choose Lakeside? They have an A on Angie's List and also with the Better Business Bureau. And they are an Owens Corning preferred contractor. They do a free damage inspection and they work on your behalf with the insurance company. Call Lakeside Construction of Columbia today at 358-0109 or on the web at lakesidecola.com. Lakeside Construction of Columbia, your local insurance roof replacement specialist. lakesidecola.com.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. But even today, there's still one path to success that only requires a dream and about $10. Because if your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. Right now at Vistaprint, you can get 500 customized high-quality business cards for only $9.99. That's $9.99, and your satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed. Just go to Vistaprint.com, use promo code 2424 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 2424.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
From the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer Weather Center, expecting clouds and showers for most of the day, and on Thursday afternoon only getting to a high near 69, breezy conditions, clearing out Thursday night with a low of 35. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm meteorologist Michelle Rotella.
This report is brought to you by Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer.
The Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer is doctor-recommended and backed by more medical studies than any other thermometer. Get yours at Walgreens and other fine retailers today.
Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
iHeartRadio just got better. We've always given you the best stations from across the country and personalized artist stations.
Don't forget, they were tearing the league up.
Today, we introduce unlimited access to our iHeartRadio music library. Millions of songs you can search and play on demand. Unlimited skips. Create your own playlists and take the music you love offline to listen without using data or needing a connection. Open the iHeartRadio app and try everything free for a month.
Thank you for taking me up on the offer.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
Clemson Sports Talk, the Hurry Up, No Huddle Sports Talk Express for you. Fox Sports Radio 1400, the iHeart Radio app. Chat live right now, clemsonsportstalk.com. Joining us on the guest line, just ended with Lewis Woodard from SB Nation Radio in Houston. Joining us now, Clemson, Tom. Tom, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, man, Merry Christmas to you and your family. How'd it go?
Yeah, man, it was good, man. It was good. How was yours?
Oh, you know, it was nice. You probably, I mean, I know we're friends on Facebook and whatnot, hashtag humble brag, but I put out there on social media just the perils of being a parent trying to open these Christmas presents. Like, getting toys out of the box is ridiculous.
Nah, I know what you mean. Yeah, putting them together, the whole nine.
Oh,
it's just,
man, but
putting them together is the worst.
Yeah, I spent more time on my rear end on the floor the past couple of days than I have all year, I would think. But, hey, Tom, let's talk about a little college football real quick. I want to start with the Birmingham Bowl. South Carolina and South Florida. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., the Gamecocks with a chance to finish the season with a positive note, 7-6. Do you think they've got a shot in this matchup against South Florida? Do you like the Gamecocks in this game?
I do. I think they win. With USF losing their coach to Oregon and everything else, I just think that team is just going to be like, whatever. But they might come out. USF's a good team. They got a good quarterback. He's a scrambler. And I know my boy Sean King is going to be kind of coaching him up a little bit. and doing their thing. But I just see the Gamecocks just beating USF, honestly.
Well, and that's a good win for the Gamecocks, and not only in terms of South Florida the season they've had, but for the Gamecocks, a 7-6 year coming off of the expectations that a lot of people perhaps had for them, not just people outside of their fan base, but maybe even people inside of their fan base. To have a 7-win season in year one is a heck of an accomplishment.
And a bowl win.
Sure.
So that's a big win for them. But I think Muschamp has coached more Birmingham Bowls than any other coach in the history of coaching. It seems like he's always there.
I don't know if that's accurate, but we'll go with it.
It is. No, I think it is. He's coached in so many Birmingham Bowls. It's ridiculous. With Auburn, he was there last year with Auburn.
Oh, I see. So not even as a head coach, you just mean in general as a coach, assistant coach?
He's always in Birmingham. Yeah, he's always in Birmingham. That should be called the Muschamp Bowl.
Well, you know what? With all the names of the bowls, that's probably not too far off. I'm sure we could do a segment of I'll give you the name of a bowl and ask if it's a real one. You probably couldn't get half of them right.
I probably couldn't, man. Everyone's got a bowl game now. There's a game yesterday. It was like the team was 5-something, losing record. I'm like, what are you doing playing in a bowl game?
Yeah, I saw
now,
that.
Everyone's in a bowl game. Everyone's in a bowl game nowadays.
Golly.
I think it was Mississippi State, actually. I think it was Mississippi State.
Was it Mississippi State?
Yeah, it was something that was in the St. Petersburg Bowl. Yeah.
I don't know.
That was it.
Somebody did finish 5-8, I think, on the season or something. 5-7, something ridiculous. I did see that, but
it ain't good.
All right, Tom. Let's turn our attention to Arizona. I know you're getting set for that matchup: the Clemson Tigers, the Ohio State Buckeyes. My feelings about this game since it was announced, I felt like Clemson was the better team. Vegas feels differently about it. We've closed in on it quite a bit more with the matchup going down this Saturday. What do you think about this game right now?
I think we got it. Their offensive line has given up a lot of sacks, and our defensive line that's our bread and butter. I said it on your show a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't think that their line will cover our defensive ends, and even if they do attempt to do that, that's going to free up number 90. It's going to free up our linebackers. So I think anywhere between the D-line and the linebackers are going to have a huge game. I'm not really sold on J.T. Barrett. He hasn't thrown the ball. He doesn't have that deep pass. He reminds me a lot of Matt Leinart in the NFL. He check downs a lot, and it's just something about it. I'm just not sold on. They're kind of young, and I don't think it's their year. I think they're a talented team, but I just don't think it's their year. I don't think we're going to go in there and beat them by 4 touchdowns or anything. But I think it's going to be very similar to the Orange Bowl when we beat them.
Yeah, by the way, I was just looking, Tom. The game that we were talking about, it was the North Texas Mean Green. They were 5-8 with the loss in the bowl game.
North Texas, that's it.
Yeah. There's North Texas. They lost to Army. They finished the season 5-8. So, yeah, that's not good. But
Mississippi State, that was it. Mississippi State, not Auburn. Mississippi State.
So back to this matchup, though, between Clemson and Ohio State briefly here, Tom. Let me ask you about this. Jadar Johnson, the comments he had about J.T. Barrett didn't seem like trash talk. It seemed like, to me as a talk show guy, an obvious thing. I mean, Clemson's faced better quarterbacks. Was it a bad move still, though, throwing it out there?
Probably. At the same time, the talking heads are always like, I wish the players or the coaches would say something. And then now when Jadar actually says something, like, I can't believe he just said that. So some of the media people that want it to happen, and then when it does, like, oh my gosh, bulletin board material. He didn't say anything that bad. He said we face better quarterbacks than J.T. Barrett, which they have. The Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. I think the quarterback from Florida State, if he had an offensive line, is better than Barrett.
Yeah, Francois, I agree.
According to Gamecock fans, Bentley's probably the greatest quarterback ever played. So let's throw his hat in there. But I mean, J.T. Barrett's good, but he's not elite, in my opinion. He's just not great. He's good, but he's not great.
Tom, final question for you here, and appreciate your time tonight. Alabama and Washington. I've asked this several times to a lot of people. Nobody buying in that Washington can win this game. Let me just okay. Washington wins this game if
Alabama doesn't show up, like literally, like their bus catches on fire or something.
Wow.
Alabama is one of the best Alabama teams I have ever seen. Washington hasn't faced any talent, and when they did, they lost to Southern Cal. I mean, Washington's talented; they can put up some points, but I don't know what they're putting in the water there in Tuscaloosa, but it's ridiculous.
Hey, man, it's called recruiting.
Defense for Alabama.
It's called recruiting.
Defense, yeah, I think we know how they recruit. The defense for Alabama is just ridiculous this year. I mean, my goodness gracious, I think it's the best Alabama defense I've ever seen. I don't see Washington really standing a chance. Honestly, they can put up some points. They haven't faced a like this, so I think Alabama goes in there and literally steamrolls Washington.
Tom, be good, man. Clemson Tom here on Clemson Sports Talk 5 on Twitter at Clemson Tom. Have fun out in Arizona, buddy.
Appreciate it, boss. Talk to you soon.
There he is, Clemson Tom here on the program. Ooh, Lowell, shots fired? Is that what I heard?
I think we're underestimating Washington.
Wow. Steamrolled. 803-978-1832. We'll talk a little more about Jadar Johnson right after this break.
Our 2016 iHeart Radio Music Festival is now music history. 20 of the biggest artists in the world, 2 nights on one stage in the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Britney Spears. Florida Georgia Line. Give it up.
Now, experience the festival on television and get an exclusive look backstage on a 2-part CW broadcast special.
Watch Night 1 of our iHeart Radio Music Festival this Friday night at 8 on CW 63.
Our family makes our traditions around Casey's Fireworks. Casey's creates a special kind of excitement for our kids. Our family only shops at Casey's Fireworks for over 60 years.
Making all your memories special. Casey's Fireworks on Rosewood and Casey'sFireworks.com.
This year, Casey's Fireworks is offering 16 varieties of sparklers, including neon and 4.5-minute sparklers. You'll also find the area's best selection of noiseless fireworks. Casey'sFireworks.com, celebrating all year long on Rosewood Drive.
Are you a business owner looking to add high-quality staff members? ProRecruits.net is the answer. Here's why ProRecruits.net is better than their competition. ProRecruits.net will guarantee their sales hires for 6 months, or they will replace them for free. ProRecruits.net is also locally owned and has lower pricing compared to the typical new hire contingency fees in the industry. ProRecruits.net offers a tremendous value for your recruiting dollars. Call Chris today at 704-737-9970 and let ProRecruits.net help your business grow.
Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devine Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devine Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
It's Macy's After Christmas Sale. Save 25% on dazzling social dresses at our biggest social event of the season. Take 60% off clearance fine jewelry. Designer underwear for him? Buy one, get one 50% off at our biggest underwear sale of the season. Plus, save on bras from Warner's, Bally, Olga, and more. Buy 2, get 1 free. And save 30 to 60% on bedding and bath at our biggest white sale. Macy's After Christmas Sale. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan. With quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Looking for South Carolina's favorite country? You'll find it at 97.5 WCOS.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan back in the saddle. Been away for a week, but man, the ride still feels so nice being here with you. 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. Thanks to Clemson Tom. Thanks to Lewis Woodard. Coming up on the program at 7:32, Don Munson. He's out in Arizona for this matchup between the Tigers and Ohio State. Clemson basketball coming up a little later in the evening. They'll take on UNC Wilmington. And Wilmington, an interesting matchup nonetheless for the Clemson Tigers, as this is one where if they were to get a win because of how Wilmington is rated right now, could be a good one. That's a 7 o'clock start. It's on the ACC Network Extra package, which is an ESPN affiliate. So if you've got ESPN3, you should be able to catch that game. Speaking of the Tigers, they took down the Gamecocks in a tight one, man. What a game last week. And Lowell, the intern, you said you were on the air with Aries Curry, and you called it. You said you thought the Tigers would win that game. I, too, thought Clemson was going to win that game, partially because Sindarius Thornwell was out, and I thought that was a big factor for South Carolina. But what I told the Gamecocks that I talked to about it prior to the game, I said, look, what this Clemson team doesn't have, really, outside Jerron Blossom game, is another star. I mean, he's a star. Everybody else is just really good. There's not a significant drop-off. If somebody comes out and somebody comes in, you don't go, oh, God, we can't survive with player X in the game. Right now, in my opinion, the weakest link on that team is a starter in Sidi Chete. I mean, and I don't. I'm not trying to put the kid down. He's not an outstanding center. He's okay, but there are people that believe that the combination, and Lowell, you may have said this to me off the air, of Sidi Chete and Eli Thomas, may actually be better than the combination of Landry Noko and Sidi Chete last year.
Yeah, Elijah Thomas is one of the more polished players offensively, one of the more polished big men offensively that Clemson has had in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see some of his moves in the post in that South Carolina game, and I said with Aries Curry that I thought Elijah Thomas was going to be big in this ball game, and he was. I can't remember how many he scored. I do know this, though. Having Elijah Thomas and Marquise Reed coming off the bench and providing that spark off the bench, especially Marquise Reed, who's a little spark plug coming off the bench there, I think they combined for 23 points off of the bench. I mean, that's huge. I mean, that gives you the depth that you're looking for in this ball club that you're going to need to beat some of these teams in the ACC. And yeah, it was big against South Carolina to have those guys off the bench.
62-60, the final score. And I'll be honest with you, for a while there, it didn't look like either team would outscore the Clemson Tiger football team. I wasn't sure we were going to crack that 56-point mark, but nonetheless, they did. You mentioned Elijah Thomas, 12 points in that game, 7 rebounds, really just his second contest. And then Reed chipping in with 14 points off the bench. I mean, that's what you need from those two guys. And again, whether you're talking about a situation where Sheldon Mitchell comes out and Avery Holmes has to fill in there, or you give the ball to Gabe DeVoe, there's not this drop-off that you occasionally see when you get 7-8 guys deep in the lineup. There's not this grand group of great collection of talent either, but they got a very good piece. Grantham is the only other guy that I would label as that could be a tier one, just great basketball player. And there are nights where he comes out and he can put in 25, but there are nights where he comes out and he just vanishes. But all across the board, when they sub in, you don't go, here's the liability. This is a guy that can't score. This is a guy that can't defend. They've got guys who can do it all. Now it is, can they do it all against teams that have 2 stars, 3 stars, like some of the programs Clemson is going to be taking on in ACC basketball play. Speaking of which, a guy that might know a little bit about some of those stars, Tar Hizzle. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, fellas? How's it going?
Man, good to hear from you.
Man, I'm just go ahead and wish you a Happy New Year, man. I hope y'all had a Merry Christmas. I heard a couple things, and I thought I'd call in and throw a little curveball at y'all. I mean, not that I would always agree with y'all, so I'm just going to throw this out there. Number one, I'm not going to sit here and say it's the best Alabama team. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they beat a 10-1 Washington team and slide into the national championship and wear out Clemson, then maybe I might say that they're up there. But I mean, at this point, all I've seen them do is whoop up on a little high school football league in the SEC. What, the second best team got 4 losses? So, I mean, don't talk me to death about them being great when they really ain't nothing else in the SEC really to beat with 4 losses. And then secondly, you kind of mentioned the quarterback from Alabama maybe being the 4th best quarterback. I'm just curious. I'm not so sure this is going to be the greatest quarterback play we've ever seen in any playoff, considering you got what I'm going to say you probably consider being the best quarterback, being Deshaun Watson with 15 interceptions. He might be the 2nd best quarterback behind Washington's quarterback. So, I don't know that the quarterback play is going to be that great, but I just thought I'd throw a couple jabs in there and see what all y'all had to do, see what all y'all had to come back at.
I got you, man. Hey, Happy New Year to you as well, Tar Heels. I hope you had a good Christmas there, man. And, going back with the whole situation in terms of the quarterbacks, that's why I asked the question. Is this possibly, the top 2 quarterbacks that Alabama's seen? Kyle Browning will be number 1, and then whether you believe it's J.T. Barrett, who 3 years ago, Barrett kind of came on like gangbusters, looked like a front runner for the Heisman Trophy, and then Deshaun Watson, who in a lot of respects I think has easily been the best quarterback the past 2 years in college football. I know Chad Kelly's good, and I know that's what Lewis said, hey, there's a guy that you don't want to forget about, and I don't, but Chad Kelly's good, but I don't know that he's better than Kyle Browning. Like, I don't know that I would take Kelly over Kyle Browning. I don't know that I wouldn't either. I'd probably have to watch a little more of Browning, but I think it's fair to say Alabama may face the best 2 quarterbacks they faced all season.
Yeah, but with Washington, the question isn't whether this is a good quarterback, because we know Jake Browning's a good quarterback. The question is, can they give Browning time?
I went old school Clemson Tiger Kyle Browning. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah. The question is, can they give him time back in the pocket to throw the ball? And that's where I think Washington's going to run into some trouble, because I think their offensive line is massively overmatched against Alabama's front.
By the way, we've got some bowl game action underway right now. West Virginia leading Miami 7-0. The ACC took a little bit of a hit earlier today as Pittsburgh was defeated by Northwestern 31-24. Pittsburgh lost their starting quarterback and starting running back in that game, and that may have contributed some, but nonetheless, Northwestern comes away with a victory. I'm glad you caught that Jake Browning thing. Funny how that happens.
I really didn't even notice. I was just talking about it.
Yeah, when you said Jake Browning, I said, I think I just said Kyle Browning, the original number 28. So everybody will tell you that C.J. Spiller's number that Tavian Feaster's wearing. Kyle Browning will tell you that's his number that C.J. Spiller was wearing. So
he did have one of the best touchdown runs I've ever seen.
Yeah, in the Peach Bowl
against Tennessee.
Or the Chick-fil-A Bowl.
Fumblerooski.
There it is. We're back. Hour number 2 plus Clemson Tiger basketball tips off. Your calls and more on Clemson Sports Talk.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Columbia Office Furniture is the destination for quality new or used office furniture. Preview thousands of new quick ship desks, chairs, workstations, file cabinets, bookcases, conference room furniture, and more at cofsc.com. Then visit our 12,000 square foot showroom at 301 Greystone Boulevard to see, sit in, touch, and feel actual samples before you buy, or browse our huge selection of quality used office furniture. And we offer layout and design services as well as installation. Visit cofsc.com today. Columbia Office Furniture. We furnish solutions.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it Quality Confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's Quality Confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
iHeartRadio just got even better with services and features no one else has. Live radio and your music in one app. Plus, get unlimited skips, play any song, instant replay, or save songs from the radio to your personal playlists. And listen to your music offline, data-free. 3 great choices: iHeartRadio Free, iHeartRadio Plus, and iHeartRadio All Access. Pick the one that's right for you. The new and improved iHeartRadio. Open the app and download it now.
You feel petrified. You're struggling with your mortgage payments, not knowing what to do. You do nothing. But if you do something, you're far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about your options. Call 888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Whoa! There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Visit discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
From the TrueCar.com studios, the new way to buy a car. This is Fox Sports Radio 1400, WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio.
Fox Sports trending now.
The Russell Athletic Bowl going on right now. West Virginia and Miami are tied at 7 apiece. Pinstripe Bowl saw Northwestern defeat Pitt 31-24. National Football League headliner Doug Martin stepping away from the Buccaneers for personal reasons, and we find out today later on during the day that he actually failed a drug test. Adderall use, and because of that, he's going to enter a drug rehab facility. Melvin Gordon practiced today for the San Diego Chargers. Jay Ajayi was also suiting up for the Miami Dolphins. He's nursing a bad shoulder. A.J. Green will sit Week 17 for the Cincinnati Bengals, 36 yards shy of 1,000. Denver Broncos have placed Marcus Ware on IR with a back injury. And the NBA, Damian Lillard out for Portland tonight. Clippers, J.J. Redick, and Chris Paul are both game-time decisions. I'm David Gascon.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set.
Just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
It is hour number 2. That's prime time right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. By the way, while we were away, a touchdown Hurricanes. So Miami with the equalizer, 7-7 against former Big Ten rival West Virginia. Miami's defense forcing a 4th and 12. They'll get the ball back with about 4 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the first half of action from the Russell Athletic Bowl. And not that it really matters all that much, Lowell, but the ACC right now, 3-1 in bowl games with the potential to go to 4-1 with a victory in this one tonight by the Hurricanes. The loss by Pitt, a little bit of a downer, I think, in some respects, simply because if you're a Clemson Tiger fan, that was the team that knocked you off. But all that being said, a good chance here for the ACC to have a pretty good start to the college bowl season. A couple of other games tonight. The Foster Farms Bowl between Indiana and Utah at 8:30. That's actually a game on Fox. And then the Texas Bowl, Kansas State and Texas A&M in Houston at 9 o'clock on ESPN. Now, I mentioned earlier, I know we got to talk Clemson basketball as they're getting underway against an 11-1 UNC Wilmington team. I mentioned earlier, though, some of those funny named bowl games. Lowell, if I had told you that you were going to, or we were going to mention and talk about a Foster Farms Bowl, would you have said, yes, Swanee, that sounds like one I'm familiar with? The Foster Farms Bowl?
Well, only because I've heard of it before. I can't just pretend I've never heard of it before. That makes it kind of tough.
The question for me, though, is this. Would South Carolina ever be willing to play in the Foster Farms Bowl? Honest to goodness question I should poll the people. Because Foster Farms is a chicken processing company. I mean, that's what they do. They make chicken cutlets and chicken. That's what they do. Chicken products. Like the Gamecocks are in the Foster Farms Bowl. I don't know if that's a match made in heaven or not. I'll be honest with you, for South Carolina. And I know they're not in that bowl now, and I don't know that there's a bowl tie to it. But simply the point being, if you're a South Carolina Gamecock fan, would you want your team playing in a bowl game sponsored by a group known for, well, slaughtering chickens and making chicken, so to speak? I don't know that I would. Lowell the Intern, Clemson Tiger men's basketball tonight. UNC Wilmington, 11-1. Our man Tony Castricone on the call of that game. Again, we talked about Clemson defeating the South Carolina Gamecocks last weekend here in Columbia. Big victory for Clemson. This is one, though, not to be overlooked. Again, it's on ESPN3, not going to be on your regular television set. You can watch it on a computer or online with a Roku device or a Apple TV or whatever. Clemson taking them on for only the second time in history, and Brad Brownell, of course, got his start coaching there at UNCW back in 2002 and went 83-40 with 2 NCAA tournament berths in those seasons for Coach Brad Brownell. Well, I know that this one, again, on paper, not going to be one that people are going to get excited about. Plus, with the college football playoff right around the bend, that's the focus of everybody. But this could be a big victory for the Clemson Tigers tonight, just in terms of a little bit of a resume boost before heading into ACC conference play.
Yeah, as far as your RPI goes, I think UNC Wilmington is in the top 25 in RPI, 11-1 on the season. So, you know, you want to get that win and get yourself a little RPI/resume boost for later on down the line. You certainly don't want to lose this and have this on your record at the end of the year.
No, a blemish in this game for Clemson would be a tremendous loss for them. By the way, update from the Russell Athletic Bowl. Miami has now taken the lead over West Virginia. Brad Kaya with the touchdown toss, 14-7. Hurricanes, if they make the extra point. Lowell, just thinking for a minute before we get back to the bowl scenario for Clemson. Hard to believe just a couple of years ago Clemson was in this Russell Athletic Bowl getting prepared to take on Oklahoma. And not saying that Clemson Tiger fans felt like there wasn't a chance they were going to win that game, but you might recall Deshaun Watson had off-season knee surgery and sat that out, and Clemson was going back to Cole Stout, who had been anything but stout throughout the year for Clemson. They just walked into this bowl game a couple of years ago, strolled out there 40-6 with the victory over Oklahoma, and in a lot of respects maybe set the tone for this past season that we saw when Clemson went to the national championship, and ultimately maybe this run as well. I mean, this is a team in Clemson that has been so good for so long now in bowl games. I think that's also a tremendous advantage that Clemson has coming into this matchup against Ohio State, simply because not that Ohio State's been bad by any means, and not that Ohio State hadn't been in similar circumstances, but Clemson is not a team that hasn't been there, if you understand what I mean. Like, Washington hasn't been there. And anybody else that's kind of stepping into this arena, I think it's a different scenario, this new college football playoff, and the one-and-done mentality that kind of goes into especially this first-round matchup. But I think for Clemson, having played in it last season, it is a little bit of an advantage for the Tigers heading in that Ohio State wasn't there last year. They're a seasoned team. I mean, they're both very young, but they know how to win big games. But I think for Clemson, it's a positive that they just went through this, and the majority of these players were a part of that, and some of them that weren't. Deion Kane, Mike Williams are some of the bigger pieces for Clemson, and maybe they'll relish that opportunity in that moment to get back out there and perform on the biggest stage. I mean, I think that is a very valid thing to think about if you're a Clemson Tiger fan. Just the fact that there is some comfort in knowing kind of where you are right now in terms of the college football playoff.
Yeah, I mean, experience is always a great thing. I mean, there's a lot of talk about how young these teams are, how young Alabama is, Ohio State is, Clemson is. But I think one of the big differences is the fact that, first of all, Ohio State was not in this situation last year. These are a bunch of young, inexperienced guys for Ohio State. And while Clemson and Alabama are both young teams, a lot of their core has still returned for this playoff run. So I think that's a big advantage that Clemson and Alabama have.
I agree.
Now,
I agree.
Jalen Hurts has not been on that stage, but a lot of the Alabama team has. This young Ohio State team has not been on that stage yet. And I mean, I'm sure there were a couple guys who were there 2 years ago, but a lot of those guys are first and second year players, and they haven't necessarily been there yet.
Right, and I don't think that's any disrespect. I think we see that in all facets of sports when you get to a playoff situation, whether it's your first trip to the NFL playoffs in several seasons, whether it's your first time in the NCAA tournament in a while, whatever the circumstances are, when you get there, it can be daunting to get up to that level. I think, too, for Clemson, it's a positive that they did not win the national championship last year in terms of heading into this postseason. Because if ever there were a reason to pick up your iPad again and watch more film, if ever there were a reason to prepare yourself even more for this game, it's having that sense of loss that Clemson had last season. Michigan State, they're not in it. Oklahoma, they're not in it. Clemson, the only team in this college football playoff that can kind of reminisce and reflect on the pain of losing and having lost on the biggest stage with all the marbles on the line. And I think for 18 to 22-year-old kids and young men, whatever you want to call these individuals who are playing sports at your favorite institution, I think one of the greatest motivating factors that they can have is failure. I think failure for these kids drives them more than anything else, much more than success. And I think that's what has made Nick Saban just so unique, is the fact that Saban has been able to keep his teams up, even with the tremendous success that they've had. They don't take steps backwards. They're always moving in the right direction. He is a master. He is a master motivator, and it's a reason he's going for his, sixth championship now, 4 at Alabama, I believe, and 1 at LSU, going for, I believe, number 6 now. The success that he's had is virtually unparalleled, especially in the modern era of college football. But my goodness, in terms of driving and motivating you, Lowell, you're a young guy. Face the facts, man. If you're playing a video game, and I'm not saying you couldn't play sports, but I'm comparative analysis here. If you're playing a video game and you keep winning, you're probably feeling pretty good about yourself, and you probably don't feel as compelled to prepare. I think you saw it absolutely in the 43-42 loss to Pitt, the refocusing of this Clemson Tiger team. I think it happened at the right time for them. It gave them just another taste of that loss. And not that that means you're going to win anything, because you might get beat this coming Saturday by Ohio State and have to pack your stuff. But I think you're in a better spot having lost last season than coming into, I'll tell you, I think it would be more difficult for Clemson right now with a national championship in the bag, being undefeated where Alabama is right now, and walking into the college football playoff. It would be great to have that title in your back pocket. Don't get me wrong. I would have loved to be able to see the institution I graduated from celebrate, and my great-grandfather and grandfather graduated from, and my brother-in-law and uncles and cousins and nephews, everybody graduated from. It would be great to have that in my back pocket right now. But I don't know that with that in my back pocket, I say to myself, you know what? I bet these guys have prepared to the nth degree. I think that loss and kind of having to reset all of that and what that does to you, I guarantee you these guys are picking up that iPad in extra 10 minutes. They're doing more to be ready. And you're kind of hearing that chatter from some of the players already saying, look, we've been here, we've been defeated. We don't want to have that feeling again. We know what it was like. And I think that's a motivator that Alabama, Ohio State, and Washington don't have right now. Doesn't mean you're going to win anything, but I think it's a positive in terms of keeping your team focused as you head into this matchup Saturday.
Well, yeah, I think so. But even more so than that, the loss to Pitt, I think, is something that has really woken the team up. I mean, you sleepwalk through games like NC State, and you come out feeling like you can't be touched.
Right.
And imagine if somehow Clemson had pulled out that Pitt game at the end. You're not changing anything, because why would you? You're not going to change it if you're winning. But we all saw that something clearly was off about the team at the beginning of the year. And then you finally pick up that loss, and now it's like, all right, we gotta regroup here and really get focused, or else we're not going to make a playoff run. And then you saw Clemson bounce back. You saw what they did to Wake Forest, to South Carolina. You saw how they played in the ACC Championship. I know it got close at the end, but Clemson really controlled that ACC Championship throughout. I think this is a refocused club and a much more dangerous club, especially on the offensive side of the ball, because of that Pitt game.
Respect that take, Low, man. I'm with you on it 100%. Will on the line wants to talk about Clemson and Ohio State. Will, man, what's going on?
Well, I'll tell you, Clemson ought to win by at least 2 touchdowns. Ohio State's overrated. It's like Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame was ranked 9th on the Amway poll before the season. They ended up 4-8. Big Ten's not any good. I mean, who did you win from that championship? Alabama, Kansas, South Florida State wouldn't win. Ohio State got lucky one time, but I mean, Ohio State's not that good. And Clemson on the roll. But, the path of this year, this keeper, every time he gets a little dig on his helmet, I mean, he played against Atlanta the first time, and they got 500 yards when he was up the middle of the field. It's not that big. I mean, he kind of reminds me of Charlie Jr. He stayed out for the whole season. I'm not in NASCAR that much, but, Charlie Jr., when that went his name, he couldn't find the ride. He was only won 5 races in his career. But, Clemson's on. I don't know. Alabama, because that's going to be the game. Memphis sure. Secondary, and don't have to tell me to show even these guys. I think Clemson's got a chance to make that game. But
Hey, Will, great take. Appreciate the call. I like that. Will, you got to follow where I always like his passion and his energy when he calls in. And if you're listening, want to be a part of the show, 803-978-1832 is the number. A lot to kind of dive into there, even a little referencing Luke Kuechly. I still think Kuechly's one of the best linebackers in the NFL. And again, where the Panthers are right now, this is different if Kuechly's already had the injury and everything, and again, there's not a lot to play for the Carolina Panthers right now. It's not a bowl game kind of, the scenario of, should you play in the bowl or should you not? I really like what Kuechly's done for that defense. The problem is, I think there are guys out there that are prone to injuries, and he's looking a little bit injury prone right now, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of his career by any means. But the problem is, I think, in today's age of professional sports especially, because these guys make so much money and because they get so much of it guaranteed, and rightfully so in the NFL, and there's so much more out there about brain trauma and CTE and all that, I think you are going to see more guys, and I'm not saying this is Kuechly's going to fall in this category, but I think the future of guys stepping away from the game young, I think that is something that you're going to have to deal with. I don't know that collegiately this bowl thing is going to become a rampant issue, but I absolutely believe you're going to see pro guys get that $30 million paycheck, play 4 years in the NFL, and if they're not feeling healthy or good about themselves, I'm out. I'm good.
Well, he's had 2 concussions in 2 years now. So this isn't something that you want to play around with. Look, he is one of the premier linebackers in the NFL. There's no question about that. So where you are now, if you're the Carolina Panthers, you're not going to the playoff. Why put him back out there and risk him getting hurt? Look, he was cleared 2 weeks ago. He could have played last week. They made the right move, in my opinion, sitting him down. I wouldn't be upset if they sat Cam for the season finale and let Derek Anderson go out and play.
I'm going to say something that you're not going to like here, Lowell. I think it's time to move Cam Newton if you can. I know they just gave him the $100 million contract. Here's the thing. I don't think Cam, and I think Cam would agree, I don't think he gets the calls. I think that he takes more hits than any quarterback in the league and gets fewer calls. And I just don't know that you can win with Cam because it's like Shaquille O'Neal in the NBA. Remember when Shaq was in the NBA and he'd get fouled all day, every day, and they'd never call it until finally he just reached a tipping point and lost his cool? Cam Newton's sort of in that category right now where he gets no calls.
Fix the offensive line, and you can put anybody back there you want. Dak Prescott is successful in the NFL right now because he's behind the best offensive line. Fix the offensive line, Cam Newton will get back to being an NFL MVP.
I hope so. I really like what he did. I saw him the other day go see a kid with a heart issue, and a kid's heart was racing. That monitor went up to about 150. We're back in 3.
Wednesday, January 4th. It's back. The worldwide announcement of our 2017 iHeartRadio Music Awards nominees. The biggest artists of the year, all on one stage. It's the only award show that celebrates the artists and songs you love and will be broadcast live on TBS. Listen Wednesday, January 4th at 9 a.m. for the full list of nominees. Then, let the voting begin.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place, just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, HealthSource is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
coming up on the program momentarily. It'll be Don Munson. At the half, Miami leads West Virginia 21-7. Brad Kaya with 3 touchdowns in the second quarter alone, giving Miami a lead over West Virginia in the Russell Athletic Bowl. Clemson Tigers out to an early lead against UNC Wilmington, 17-11, the last score I saw. This feed that we're getting right now on ESPN3 for the ACC Network Extra is pretty cool because it's the in-house feed of the game. I mean, you're getting lots of inside scoop about the players, what's your dream job, etc., all kind of stuff. But you don't get a scoreboard on the screen, so we don't really know what the score is. Now, if you want to chat with us, ClemsonSportsTalk.com is the website. You can head over there. We've been tweaking the site to get things all squared away for you, and thank everybody who's come back home to ClemsonSportsTalk.com. I love broadcasting the show on Facebook, but I think the move needed to be made back to the website so that 2017 can be a resurgence for our website. Looking forward to getting more and more people involved over there. Should be a lot of fun. Speaking of a lot of fun, don't miss out on your opportunity to go see your favorite football team, your favorite basketball team, concert, sporting event, whatever. Download the SeatGeek app today. Listen, it's the smartest and easiest way to find tickets for the football games you want to see up close and in person this season. There's nothing like being in the stadium for the biggest plays and the biggest games of the year. And with the SeatGeek app, it's never been easier. Here's what you have to do. To get a $20 rebate on your tickets, download the SeatGeek app today. Go to the settings tab, enter the promo code CST. If you do that, SeatGeek will send you a $20 rebate off your first purchase that you make through their application. Again, download the SeatGeek app, enter the promo code CST. That's what you want to do. By the way, Don Munson coming up on the program at 7:32. So looking forward to talking to Dandy Don Munson right here on Clemson Sports Talk. He'll be live in Arizona in about 7 minutes. Lowell, I've been trying to keep my eye on this basketball game throughout the first little bit of action. And again, I'll say it as I did earlier, this Clemson team is just very consistent across the board. Again, outside Jerron Blossom game, only one guy in Dante Grantham who I expect to see big things from on the regular, but everybody else very consistent on the offensive and defensive end, and that's what I think makes this team a very tough out for anybody in the Atlantic Coast Conference because they play so well on both ends of the floor. I can remember a couple of years ago, and I've been critical of Brad Brownell. As far as to say, I think if this season doesn't end in a NCAA tournament trip, I think Clemson's got to really seriously consider moving on from Coach B, and I like him. But what I do see is the fact that there have been guys in this program who have been a little bit more offensive, you might say, but were very lacking on the defensive end of the court, and they sort of were phased out in a lot of respects by Brad Brownell. But right now, when you look at this team, they are one that not only can play very well offensively, but they also defend, and that's something that I think will go a long way towards giving them an opportunity to get into the NCAA tournament. Now, Jadar Johnson, back to it before we talk with Don Munson. Jadar Johnson earlier in the week stating in terms of JT Barrett that Clemson had faced better quarterbacks. And a lot of people are like, Jadar, don't say that. You can't say that. But when you have faced Lamar Jackson, the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, okay, and let's take Francois out of the conversation and just talk about Lamar Jackson. Is it an insult? Is it really locker room material? Because I think Jackson's the better quarterback. I think most people think Jackson's the better quarterback. Jackson was the Heisman Trophy winner this year. Doesn't that, again, I know I hear Clemson Tiger fans, well, that didn't make him better than Deshaun Watson, and maybe it doesn't. But doesn't it make him better than JT Barrett? I know Clemson fans, you don't want to see the fact that maybe he's better than Deshaun Watson. I agree with you. I don't think he is either. But do you have a real problem with Jadar Johnson saying what he said in terms of the fact that it kind of felt like Clemson has faced better quarterbacks already this year?
No, I don't think he's wrong, because you go watch some film of Ohio State. They're very much a run-first team. This is what we talked about with Lewis earlier.
Right.
They rely a lot on that quarterback run. And I downfield, he's not much of a threat with his arm. Now, I'll say this. He was in years prior, and I think part of it is that offensive line that's given up a lot of sacks this year. They just haven't had the time to take those shots down the field. But no, I think Jadar Johnson is spot on, and it kind of makes me happy to hear him say that, because it means they've been watching some film. But I mean, if you really need bulletin board material, for a college football playoff semifinal, you've got other issues anyways. So I don't buy into the whole locker room bulletin board material thing.
Well, and not that they go heads up against Deshaun Watson every day at practice either, but there is this guy named Deshaun Watson that they've played a good bit with and gone up against, in scrimmages, etc. Deshaun Watson, by the way, was named the Offensive Player of the Year by Scout.com, leading the Tigers back to the college football playoff for a second consecutive season. Also, a quick news note as far as recruiting goes. 4-star running back commit Cordarian Richardson the other day decommitted from Clemson. Potentially opens some things up for Clemson in terms of another take there offensively at the running back spot. I know a lot of people looking at DeAndre Swift as one guy that they like, and then the other young man, Felix. I can't remember his first name right now off the top of my head, but anyway, lots of stuff going on there with Richardson's high school and a lot of issues surrounding grades potentially that may have been some red flags for the young man, may have been some red flags for Clemson. I don't think this was unexpected by the Clemson Tigers, but I do think that it does open up some opportunities maybe for Clemson to go out and land another running back prospect that maybe people liked a little more than Richardson. Personally, I loved what I saw from Richardson.
I liked Richardson, yeah.
So I hate that Clemson not out of the running according to Richardson. It'll just be interesting to see how things play out. Again, best of luck to that young man. I never want to be the negative this kid's so bad because he's rethinking his commitment. And that's not where you want to be if you're a Clemson Tiger fan. And those of you that jump on these guys for changing their minds at the age 18, are you kidding me? Age 17 or 18, it's tough to make a decision like that. Life-changing decision.
Speaking of thinking about your commitments and stuff, how are we feeling about Amari Rodgers saying that he's potentially may go take a visit to Southern California?
Well, his dad's out there.
Yes.
T. Martin. So not a tremendous shock there, but Rodgers has been a guy who's been...
He's been recruiting for the Tigers.
Hard.
He got a tiger tattoo on his chest.
It's a huge one. It is a monstrous tattoo. Speaking of tattoos, Bent Zero chiming in via the Caribbean Resort and Villas text line. No, excuse me, the Ocean Reef Resort. Been away for a while. The Ocean Reef Resort text line wants to know if the Swanee Family Tattoo Pact is still on.
Oh, it's for life, isn't it?
It is for life,
Yeah.
Bent Zero. It is absolutely for life. But I don't think I'll be getting the old chest pectoral tattoo that Amari Rodgers got. That's impressive. We'll be back. Don Munson, voice of the Clemson Tigers, right here on Clemson Sports Talk next.
iHeartRadio just got better. We've always given you the best stations from across the country and personalized artist stations.
Don't forget, they were tearing the league up.
Today, we introduce unlimited access to our iHeartRadio music library. Millions of songs you can search and play on demand. Unlimited skips. Create your own playlists and take the music you love offline to listen without using data or needing a connection. Open the iHeartRadio app and try everything free for a month.
Thank you for taking me up on the offer.
Skip the hotel and stay in a Rent Like a Champion vacation home on your visit to Clemson. Rent Like a Champion, as featured on ABC Shark Tank, has dozens of homes available that will allow you to stay with family and friends under one roof, tailgate in your own backyard, and walk to Death Valley to watch the Tigers. It doesn't matter your group size, Rent Like a Champion has affordable options for your Clemson weekend. Reserve your game day home today. Call 855-BIG-GAME.
Donald Kidwell, current owner of CrossFit Iron Mary's. After finding CrossFit in 2012, I lost 128 pounds. At CrossFit Iron Mary's, you're not a barcode, you're an actual person. Where you are now is not important. Where you want to be is. 3 locations to reach your fitness goals in Columbia: the Old Mill in Lexington, Trotter Road in West Columbia, and downtown near the Carolina Baseball Stadium. Check us out online at CrossFitIronMarys.com or give us a call at 803-414-9601. Set up your first set of free classes today at CrossFit Iron Mary's, 803-414-9601.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
Pay fast with the Master Pass. Don't buy it. Master Pass it. Pay fast with the Master Pass. Simple and easy. Pay fast with the Master Pass. Don't buy it. Master Pass it. Pay fast with the Master Pass. Secure and so easy.
MasterPass, the simple, secure way to pay for MasterCard. Accepted at select merchants.
Don't buy it. MasterPass it.
The most valuable thing we have in life is time. You can't get it back. Save your time and do something good for your car with a basic interior and exterior cleaning from Mobile Works Auto Detailing. Keep your car looking sharp with several different packages featuring everything from the basic wash and vacuum to the works, which includes seat cleaning and headlight restoration. Save your time and still have a sharp car. Call Mobile Works Auto Detailing today at 743-8867 or online at mobileworksautodetailing.com.
From the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer Weather Center, expecting clouds and showers for most of the day, and on Thursday afternoon only getting to a high near 69, breezy conditions, clearing out Thursday night with a low of 35. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm meteorologist Michelle Rotella.
This report is brought to you by Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer.
The Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer takes stress out of caring for a sick child. A gentle forehead scan is all it takes. Get yours at Walmart or other fine retailers today.
Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show now at 978-1832 or text 803-450-0086.
A record of the delightful piece they're going to play this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, 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 your attention, please, attention, please, attention, please.
And now the moment we've been waiting for is here.
It is the show that shakes the Southland. Clemson Sports Talk. Lawton Swan, the Hurry Up No Huddle Sports Talk Express. Lowell, the intern, man in the board, and out on the guest line in Arizona right now. He's the voice of the Clemson Tigers. Of course, he is Don Munson. Don, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, man. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good, Lawton. Appreciate you having me on.
Listen, you got to start telling Coach Sweeney to stop having so much success. It makes you move around the holidays. They fly around, and you don't really get to enjoy them.
No. I got to enjoy Christmas at home with the family and stuff. We flew out the day after Christmas, so don't have any problems. And no better way to celebrate the new year than with a Clemson victory over Ohio State and a trip to the national championship game.
Yeah, man, no doubt about it. The question is, did you get to skedaddle out of town and leave the wife to take care of the Christmas tree, or does that stay up through the new year?
Oh, no. The wife is with me on the trip here, so don't have a problem with that. We got some child care back at watching the little one for us. So
Yeah.
this is a great trip for the wife and I to come on.
Oh, there you go. Don Munson here on Clemson Sports Talk tonight. And, Don, I know I saw your little Facebook Live video that you put up a couple of days ago of the Tigers out on the practice field getting prepared for this matchup against Ohio State. And you've been around the program for quite some time. But, this college football playoff deal, it's new to at least Washington. We know Ohio State and Alabama have been there as well. But just in terms of maybe Clemson's preparation heading into a semifinal matchup, do you get the feeling that things are maybe a little bit ramped up based on last year, or do you feel like it's about the same? Kind of your thoughts.
Well, I think that actually the experience of going through it a second time is probably really good for this team. And I don't know that things are as quite a fever pitch right now as they were, say, a year ago, to be perfectly honest with you. I think because the guys have been through it before, they know what to expect. They've been here to Phoenix before, so but they lost obviously the last time that they were out here. So I think they got some ghosts they'd like to chase away out of here. So what's been so watched is as the week's kind of gone along here, and you can really kind of see it today, was all of a sudden there's a little more focus in everything that they're doing. All the little things are becoming vitally important to what is going to happen and what may be the outcome on Saturday night. So that to me, you could really see it in today's practice. I mean, everybody was relaxed but very focused on what they were doing at practice, and really the physical work today they ended. They'll go through a practice tomorrow, but it'll be a short practice, only about 10 periods tomorrow, and then a walkthrough on Friday, and then they go on Saturday. So they've been through the physical stress. Now it's the mental part of the game that really starts to get ratcheted up.
In terms of the motivating factor of losing that national championship game last season, I think we were all 18 to 22 at some point in our life, and I've got to imagine right now that bitter taste that Clemson still has in their mouth probably drives these guys to do that extra film review, that extra rep, whatever it is that they can do to get better. Do you see that from just individuals, or these guys maybe even more focused than perhaps last season just based on the loss?
Well, I think obviously it comes into play from that standpoint, and I think your point is very well taken. That because of that, they don't want to have that feeling again. That they want to have the feeling of euphoria. They don't want to know the agony of being an old wide world of sports cliche.
Yeah.
And so because of that, they're focused in on the job at hand, but they know, listen, we got to go out there and make plays. The coaches can coach all they want. Players are going to make plays. Where are your eyes? Where's your thought process? Do you have done a film study and all that kind of stuff? So you got to get to that point, and that's been one of the beauties of doing this during the holidays is that there's no school going on, so you can devote a lot of time to that.
Don Munson here on Clemson Sports Talk tonight. You can follow him on Twitter at WDonaldMunson. He's out in Arizona as the Clemson Tigers prepare to take on Ohio State. When you look at these two coaches, Urban Meyer and Dabo Swinney, you go back just a couple of years ago to the matchup that they had there, and Urban Meyer with only 5 losses in his tenure at Ohio State, one of which came to Dabo in that Orange Bowl. He's kind of got revenge on his mind, but I look at these two guys plus Nick Saban as potentially 3 of the top 5 head coaches in college football. And I don't know if you have a list at home where you kind of rank these things out, but would you agree that this is perhaps a top 3 coaching matchup that we've got going on this weekend?
Well, I think you've definitely got 2 that are here on Saturday night. I don't think, and you'd be hard pressed to argue any other way. I mean, we go back since 2011, Alabama's won the most, Clemson's won the second most.
Yeah.
So they're even ahead of the pace that Ohio State had set since 2011. So I don't think there's any doubt about it. And you go back to after that 2010 season, a lot of people had jumped off the Clemson bus. Now there were a ton of folks that jumped off the Clemson bus, but now they've jumped right back on now and are enjoying the success. But that's just kind of the way that it goes, the ebb and flow of winning. The old adage, hey, I'm with you, win or lose. Well, a lot of people are only with you win. Tie or lose, you're on your own. But that's just the nature of the business and the nature of the beast.
Don, a lot of people talking about Deshaun Watson right now, and the speculation, obviously, that he is going to leave Clemson, but he's kind of put it out there that maybe he returns. All right, so Deshaun Watson comes to Don Munson. We got about a minute left. Deshaun Watson comes to Don Munson after the national championship game or whatever, says, "Hey, Don, do you think I should come back to Clemson or not?" How do you answer that question?
I asked him, Deshaun, what do you feel like you can accomplish by coming back? And there has to be pros and cons to it. What do you feel like you can accomplish if you decide to make yourself eligible for the draft? And there's pros and cons to that, and figure it out and go from there. I think he knows what he's going to do. Matter of fact, I think today at one of the press conferences, he says, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just not going to tell you all for another week or so, which is perfectly fine. That's I think he's playing it really, really well.
Yeah.
I think he's playing it very well, as a matter of fact. And, it drives the media crazy. It drives fans crazy because they want to know, and they want to know now. But this isn't sometimes patience is a virtue. And, the longer that you're patient, then usually good things come. So we'll see how it all works out. But I think Deshaun knows exactly what he wants to and is going to do. But I don't think that decision is going to have any bearing on how he is going to play, either in the semifinal or hopefully in the national championship game.
There he is, Don Munson. Don, enjoy your time out in Arizona. Thank you so much for being here. We're back in 3 with more Clemson Sports Talk on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart Radio app.
Wednesday, January 4th. It's back. The worldwide announcement of our 2017 iHeartRadio Music Awards nominees. The biggest artists of the year, all on one stage. It's the only award show that celebrates the artists and songs you love and will be broadcast live on TBS. Listen Wednesday, January 4th at 9 a.m. for the full list of nominees. Then, let the voting begin.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Columbia Office Furniture is the destination for quality new or used office furniture. Preview thousands of new quick-ship desks, chairs, workstations, file cabinets, bookcases, conference room furniture, and more at cofsc.com. Then visit our 12,000-square-foot showroom at 301 Greystone Boulevard to see, sit in, touch, and feel actual samples before you buy, or browse our huge selection of quality used office furniture. And we offer layout and design services as well as installation. Visit cofsc.com today. Columbia Office Furniture. We furnish solutions.
When you have a need for a plumber, you need it fast and you need it done right. If you're dealing with busted pipes, maybe you need your toilet repaired, or you're battling a clogged drain, break free from average service and experience the best with Freedom Plumbing. Call James Carwell and the staff at Freedom Plumbing to get the job done fast, on time, and most importantly, right the first time. Freedom Plumbing, your local 24-hour plumber. Call 803-447-0471 or online at freedom-plumbing.com.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Business owners, have you had to let your last couple of sales hires go because they were not making quota year one? Want to add high-quality staff members? ProRecruits.net is the answer. Here's why. ProRecruits.net will guarantee their sales hires for 6 months, or they will replace them for free. ProRecruits.net has lower pricing compared to the typical new hire contingency fees in the industry. ProRecruits.net offers a tremendous value for your recruiting dollars. Call 704-737-9970 and let ProRecruits.net help your business grow.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, The answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
It is Clemson Sports Talk. I'm Lawton Swan. He's Lowell, the intern. The Clemson Tiger men's basketball team currently taking on UNC Wilmington. We send it over across the studio to my man Lowell, the intern, for an update there. Lowell, what's going on in Little John Coliseum tonight?
About 3 minutes left in the first half. The Tigers starting to open this thing up. UNC Wilmington hanging around for a while, but it is now 37-23. That's about 3 minutes left in the first half.
37-23. Tigers again, this UNC Wilmington team with just one loss on the season, but a very balanced Clemson Tiger attack. On the guest line, or I guess the phone lines, is O-Line. O-Line, hope you had a good holiday, man. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a very good New Year.
Right back at you. Hey, you talking about that Foster Farms Bowl?
Yeah.
Heck, we played in Chick-fil-A Bowl. They consume more chickens than...
Well, that's you know what, it feels different when it's on the sandwich versus going through the processing facility.
I guess so, but I bet Chick-fil-A buys,
you're probably right,
100% of it.
Thanks for keeping me straight. Thank you for keeping me straight. Good point.
Hey, you said that everybody in the family, great-great-great-great-great-grandfathers and cousins and everything, you don't have one black sheep in the family that went to South Carolina?
We do. You know, my dad's half brother, who's much older than my father. He's since passed away, but he's about 18 years or so older than my dad. His side of the family, for whatever reason, they are Gamecock fans and graduates.
Okay, I figured.
We still invite them to the family reunion though.
Put them in the corner.
Yeah. See, I think that's the offshoot. That's not quite. They're not. They're, because it's half brother. It's not a full blooded thing. So I think it's some of that. That Kimbrough blood that may have got in there and infiltrated them.
Yeah, I got you. As far as Watson goes, and unless Clemson's paying him more than what he's going to get next year, he's gone. So I don't even think it should be.
That's what Lowell said. That's what O-Line. That's what Lowell said during the break. By the way, O-Line, again, I don't need to reset this conversation. I do possess a master's degree from the University of South Carolina. I don't know that I need to spread that too loud, but yeah, that's the truth.
Well, then the half brother calls you a half brother, then I guess, because you half Clemson, half South Carolina.
Well, I had a 4.0 at USC and like a 2.2 at Clemson. I don't know what that means, but
all right, big guy.
All right, man, be good. That's the truth, Lowell. They barely let me out of Clemson. At USC, the one to give me all kind of like things to wear to my graduation.
I'd forgotten that you got your master's at South Carolina, which was funny because I believe for the entire first year that I was on the program, you were calling me an undercover Gamecock, and then it was revealed that you actually went to South Carolina.
Listen, here's the thing. When I was in school over there at USC, I was like the only guy bebopping around campus in Clemson gear. I mean, it was so bizarre. I'd show up to class in a Clemson shirt, and my classmates would look at me like, what are you doing, man? But, I mean, I was already a Clemson graduate. I just happened to move down here and decided to go to grad school. So, anyway, there it is. It's out on the table again. Shun me if you will, but still a degree. All right, Lowell. College Sports Corner, I believe. My man, you are the man that dishes the topics. I'll take what you got. It's brought to you by the good friends of Clemson Sports Talk down at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac in Orangeburg.
Clemson Sports Talk presents the College Sports Corner, brought to you by Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. Just a short drive down I-26 at exit 145A in Orangeburg. Now, CST reporter Lawton Swan.
Oh, yeah, Lowell the intern. What you got, buddy? What you got? Topic one in the College Sports Corner tonight is?
Well, you remember our good friend and former Maryland head coach Randy Edsall with his famous line about going to a basketball conference or going to a football conference from a basketball conference.
Right.
Well, Randy Edsall has been hired back at Connecticut. Connecticut, who fired their head coach over the weekend, has gone back and rehired Randy Edsall.
So Randy Edsall back to the scene of the crime, UConn.
Ironically, back in a basketball conference.
And that's where I was headed with that one. I'm just happy we're going to a basketball conference. I mean, he said, I'm just happy we're going to a football conference in his little take. Funniest thing about that take was 4 people clapped. I think we actually have that audio. It's down on the bottom of one of our sound clip cues, I believe, but I'm not exactly sure about that. So, Nonetheless.
Yeah, I was searching for it. I do not see it at the moment. Baylor Bears wide receiver K.D. Cannon is going to enter the NFL draft. Last night, Baylor took down Boise State. K.D. Cannon, pretty good ball player. Baylor is pumping out some wide receivers. They may want to stake a claim to wide receiver U because they've put out some good ones lately.
You know what? You talk about that matchup and some of the other matchups that have been going on in college football over the past few weekends in the bowl game. And I told you before the bowl games all got cranked up that I had done pretty well in terms of preparing myself for the bowl season in my little pick'em challenge that I have with some friends of mine from back in the day growing up. Lowell the intern, let me tell you, I may as well have just thrown darts at the teams to win in these bowl games. With that Boise State game, I didn't see that coming a mile away.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shocker.
And that's not the only one that has undone me, so to speak. So, yeah, a bit of a surprise there for me to watch that game unfold that way. But you're right, Baylor's put some players out there in terms of wide receivers. They put up some big points, man. They really do.
Penn State has suspended 2 players for their bowl game against Southern California. One of them is linebacker Manny Bowen, who is second on the team in tackles. The other is wide receiver Saeed Blacknall. Blacknall has played in 7 games, split some time at Z receiver, 15 catches, 347 yards. But a big loss there for Penn State with Bowen. He's one of their leading tacklers, and he's one of the cogs on their defense, and that's not going to help against a high-powered USC offense.
No, it won't. The question becomes, did you hear what Juju Smith had to say earlier today about Alabama, the wide receiver at Southern Cal?
Oh, boy, what'd he say? That's got to be good.
Juju Smith said that if they were playing Alabama, they would beat them. If they were playing Alabama right now, they would win.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju on that beat, Lowell. You got Juju on that beat.
Yeah, they're hot. They've definitely been hot at the end of the year. But they're going to see the same problem if they rematch that they saw in the first game of the year. I don't care who your quarterback is. If you can't protect him, he's not going to be effective. And USC was not able to protect the quarterback in that opening game against Alabama. I'm not sure they could do it a second time around.
Incredibly, Lowell, a couple of hours have gone by, and now it's time for us to get out of here. We will not be here tomorrow. South Carolina postgame show here with Jonathan Reynolds and Tim Pops Frisbee. We'll be on the air. So we're taking the day off tomorrow. We'll be back on Friday. Look at the time, folks. 56 after 7. Clemson Sports Talk is getting out of here until tomorrow night. As always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
Attention Tiger Nation, listen up for a new way to show your support for the Clemson Tigers and support a great charity. SOS is once again sponsoring Print Bowl 2016. This campaign pits the Tigers against the Gamecocks to raise money for a great charity. This year, the Clemson Tiger fans will support the Live Big Foundation, and they are counting on Tiger Nation to show their support by visiting printbowl.com. While there, make sure to enter their monthly drawing for a free printer emblazoned with the Clemson Tiger logo. Learn more at printbowl.com.
Buddy Delaney for Best Mattress. Happy customers and great reviews are 2 of the big reasons we're celebrating our 88th year. To thank our loyal customers, we're offering a $50 referral bonus to any customer who refers a friend and $50 off to the new customer. In addition, a portion of each sale will be donated to 2 of our favorite local charities, Harvest Hope and Pets Inc. Come and help us celebrate our birthday and let us help those in need. Best Mattress.
Learn more at bestmattress.net.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
I wish I was in school. I wish I was in school. I wish I was in school.
Summer isn't fun when you're hungry.